I'ma give them what they want. She gon' give me what I want. I'ma give them what they want. We gon' give them what they want. I'ma give them what they want. She gon' give me what I want. I'ma give them what they want. We gon' give them what they want.
What the fuck is they talking about when they ain't talking about none?
Welcome to What They Want podcast, episode 3, featuring my nephew, Clouds 13. We're gonna talk about everything, that he's got coming up, everything he's got going on. If you guys want to tune in, we're gonna get right into it. Shoot, I'm gonna call you Clouds, but it's like, dang, it's called. But tell the viewers and stuff like that, man. Like, tell them about yourself, tell them about your career, what you want, what you plan on doing, all that stuff.
I go by Clouds 13. I've been producing music since about, let's say, 2018, 2017. I've been trying to get myself out there a lot recently. I just started putting out music probably about a couple of years ago. I wish I would have done it sooner, to be honest.
For
but
sure.
It's. I've been also learning a lot of different things with like learning how to use turntables, DJing, scratching, even all the way down to like trying to learn how to do like party mixes and things like that. Been messing around with a lot of cassette recording, CDs, pressing my own music. Really just messing with a lot of analog stuff and trying to keep that OG style of that OG style sound, that OG style of music as well. And then growing up, it's been something I've wanted to do, and then decided over time. Let's see. Let me try to find the right words. Pretty much, I don't know. I didn't want to do it at all, like for one point, because I was losing motivation. But then eventually I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get back into it and actually try and get myself out there. And ever since I started releasing, it's been nothing but motivation. I've been finding a lot of new people, a lot of new connections. And I mean, I don't know. I couldn't be happier right now, for real. Like
That's
within
dope,
the position I'm in.
That's dope, man. So man, let's get into the influences, man. Like, what makes you, be the artist that you are. Also, what got you into this, man? Because you got cassettes, your merch is already coming up with a poster and whatnot. Like, you already got all this stuff already, man. But like, what influenced you to do like this? Like, what's your main, I know you said 3-6 Mafia and Memphis and whatnot, but like, what influences your sound the most?
So I think really, like the core of influencing my sound is there's a lot of pain behind it, a lot of darkness, a lot of emotional aspects, and even all the way down to philosophical aspects, and the problems that I feel like that are happening around us and things within the world and all that, and it gets pretty deep, and I really enjoy like that really deep, dark horror sound. I've always loved horror movies. Horror movies are something I've grown up watching all the time. Texas Chainsaw, Halloween. All the classic ones. And then I've even dabbled into like more obscure horror movies that you could find like on older VHSs, stuff that weren't as popular. Like older freaky things. And within that. Yeah. Exactly.
Freaky shit.
Yeah, man. And so it's like with that, I was able to take a lot of inspiration, and when I actually started getting into like a lot of music more seriously, or I guess let me rewind just a little bit more. During the period of growing up, first originally I heard a lot of rap music, like a lot of really crunk shit that was going on during the 2000s, like 2005 era shit, all the way up. Even early 90s crunk shit, even all the way up until I'd say probably 2010, 11, and then after that, I stopped listening to it as much. I got a lot of rock and roll influence, death metal influences, black metal influences, things like that. And then eventually I got into the underground. And the underground is like fucking really fucking dope in my opinion. There's so many artists that are like still even kind of unknown till this day that are like making really cool shit. And it's like with that underground sound, a lot of people kind of are doing the same thing with like the horror samples, and it's really trying to find the most gritty, like darkest, straight from the soul sound you can. Oh my bad, straight from the soul
All good.
sound that you can deliver. Like I don't know
Gotcha, okay.
that's how I look at it. It's really just really a deep, punching fucking feeling.
Gotcha.
You know
Okay.
what I'm
Okay.
saying?
So that gets the emotions and stuff like that. So that's what you look into music for, is like to get the emotions out and to get the get all that because I mean that's the same thing with me. Like when I dive into music, like you, one day you might hop in my car, you might hear some like Travis Scott. You know what I'm saying, on some like weird like highest in the room type shit where it's like, oh, this dude's trying to get turned. And then the next day you're gonna get in there, you're gonna hear like probably some Tech Nine and like where it's like, oh, I'm low and I'm probably drinking about a fifth of vodka, and it's like, what the hell? But I mean, I that's what I do with me. With me, I'm like, man, music is just the musical chords to your heart. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I really look into music for. So I mean, especially with what you're talking about. Here's a question for you, real quick though. So, and this is strictly on we'll do because you spoke on rock too, but on your Mount Rushmore, because we do this with everybody on the pod. But like, who's your top 4 Mount Rushmore hip hop artists?
Fuck man, definitely Biggie. Because
Okay.
like Biggie was one of his storytelling was amazing. He was one of the biggest people like I listened to in like high school, growing up as well. And then I mean, shit. Really, a lot of the OGs for real, like Big L. Big L was also really
Damn,
good.
you
He's
listen
kind of
to Big
underrated.
L?
Dude, Big L was real. I liked a lot of the East Coast shit, man. Big L was hella fucking dope. He's definitely one of the top people. I loved his shit. Who else, man? Lupe Fiasco. Lupe Fiasco is pretty fucking cool. He had a lot of really interesting, like, super rhythmical
Bro,
sounds
crazy.
and shit. Man.
Lupe Fiasco on your Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, bro. Lupe,
That's hard.
he's fucking
He's
sick,
hard,
dude.
he's
He's
talented, yeah.
underrated, man. I feel like a lot of people, at least nowadays, don't really know much about him, or at least my age, at least. I don't know. I
100%.
could be wrong. I could definitely be
No,
wrong.
you're not wrong. There's a
But
lot of people, yeah.
and then I guess for the fourth one, shit. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you consider him hip hop, but definitely like he had extreme influences from that hip hop sound. But I definitely say probably like Yo Gotti, or
Yo
at the,
Gotti?
yeah, Yo Gotti.
Oh yeah,
Even though
hip-hop.
he's Memphis, but he has so many different alternatives, and he was able just to deliver just amazing shit all the way since back when he was 13 and his name was Lil Yo. I mean, he was rapping as a kid.
Damn, so you go back to when he was rapping like. See, I never even knew he rapped by a different name.
Oh yeah, no,
I
he
just
has
thought he had a big-ass forehead
A
and
lot of them
everything.
underground.
I was like, that dude got a big ass forehead, but
A lot of the underground tapes, that some of the underground tapes I collect, man, were actually made by this dude named DJ Sound. He did the intro for me on the Murder Christ tape, and extreme shout out to DJ Sound. He's one of the like legends in Memphis, pioneers, man. Like Lil Yo, like literally started rapping in the apartments of Ridgecrest with DJ Sound, and like started pressing his shit on these old cassettes, like from that they were releasing under the label Fraser Click. And that's where he started, all like down there in the Ridgecrest apartments with DJ Sound and shit. Yeah.
damn. Man, my nephew is pulling me up on game with this stuff. This crazy. Because
Yeah.
bro, I didn't know none of this. That's crazy, bro. So I mean, like, man.
I've been
So
doing my
you-
research.
you-
I've been
yeah,
definitely
bro, you
doing my
definitely been doing
research.
your research. God damn,
I love
you know.
this shit, man. I love it.
You definitely piquing my interest with a lot of this Memphis stuff, bro. Like, so I mean, I thought you were gonna throw 3-6 on there. I for sure thought they were gonna throw 3-6 on
See,
there.
the thing is, I considered 3-6. You know, maybe the newer shit's definitely I would say crunk and more hip hop, but all the shit I listen to from them is like they're real old school, it's like that mystical like horrorcore like mysticism, like dark ass, like I guess you can call it, you know, it's not necessarily devil music because I know that's even they've said that themselves, that's not what it is, but pretty much that real dark ass horror sound, and with the real mystical sound. That's another thing I kind of forgot to mention. It's like I really love that ambient, mystical, almost fantasy like sound, like using really like strange synthesizers and like weird fucking creepy ass tones and shit, like little subtle things that would pick up in the beat. It almost sound hypnotic and trance like, and you know, kind of send you in through like a portal or something. Like,
That's
you know what I'm
crazy.
saying?
Yeah, I mean, hey, man, I ain't never done shrooms before, but what you talking about? It sounds like a shrooms. It sounds like a trip. But, okay, so I know you said you're watching a lot of horror movies and whatnot, man. Like, what is your top favorite that you like, hey, bro? Because, I mean, like, for example, Tech Nine, bro. Like, Tech Nine, one of his all-time favorites is Halloween. You know what I'm saying? And he always calls himself, like, Michael Myers, all that shit like that. So it's like, what is your... If I was to pull up to your crib and you're like, bro, we about to sit back, I'm gonna watch the GOAT movie of all time. What is it?
For the horror movie, dude, for me it'd have to be like as funny as it is, the original Texas Chainsaw in 1970, I think 76. I could be wrong on the actual date, but the original one. And the funny thing is, it has like barely any blood at all. Like there's no gore, nothing, but just by the sheer atmosphere and the grittiness and the cinematography and like the way they delivered it, all the way down to the film they used, like it was really fucking good. Like I love
original.
that. Exactly, it's really original.
My old roommate had the biggest Texas Chainsaw Massacre website in the world.
Oh
I'd
really?
come home from work and stuff, and he'd be in like full Leatherface outfit.
What the
on the
Oh, no.
death metal.
No, not me.
shit.
No,
Yeah.
I'm running my ass out the door.
Oh, goddamn, bro.
Films, like Cannibal Holocaust.
I watched that. Yeah.
I had to watch Care Bears after that.
That shit was fucked up, man.
I had to watch Care Bears.
I don't even want to talk about that.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would not watch none of that. I watched Paranormal Activity with one of my ex-girlfriends, and like, I promise you, bro. Like, I came home, and the moment she moved, I was like, this chick about to kill me. And, like,
For real,
bro. Yeah. I mean, even with my ex-wife one time, man. Like, she got up and she was staring at the end of the hallway and just standing there looking at me. I said, oh hell no. And she was like, what's wrong? Or she didn't say shit to me. She just went to the bathroom, and I was like, oh no, I'm not doing none of this shit. Like, fuck. This bitch is possessed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, and I skirt. My friend was like, bro, why are you tripping? I was like, nah, I don't do this stuff. But, yeah, like, I don't, the horror stuff, man, like, man, and it's crazy too, bro, like, we're going a little bit off topic, but, like, women love horror movies.
This is true. No,
like,
I mean, my ladies, that's exactly how she is, dude. She
Man.
loves her horror, bro. She's already, it ain't even October yet, and she already done changed her lock screen to all the spooky pictures, and she's telling me, she's like, it's spooky season's coming up already. 4th of July is over. I'm like, oh boy.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, man, some of these chicks that I've either talked to or seen, they're like, oh yeah, sit down and watch a horror movie with me. I'm like, why do you want to? She's like, well, yeah, it's like I want to cuddle. It's like cuddle, like I'm having vivid nightmares of this. like I do not want to be cut up in 14 different
Right.
Like, you know, but I do get it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'll watch Freddy or I'll watch Jason, but like that's the extent of my creepiness. You get me watching something that says based on a true story, like you're gonna see it based on a true story of me running out of the house.
Right. You're gonna see I'm leaving, bro. I'm
You're
jumping.
gonna see it. Phew, you're gonna see
I'm be
Roadrunner,
chilling.
beep,
You're gonna hear the window break. It's just you see your 2 legs going through the window, bro. Like, yo, where he going, man?
No.
You running down the street all fucking.
Nope. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't bring me to no haunted houses, no nothing.
Man.
Like, I'm leaving your ass there. As soon as that dude jumps out and says, I'm skirt, bye. Like, but so yeah, man. Scratch that. But back on to another topic though, man. Like, so I know like it's crazy too because obviously we didn't know each other all this time and whatnot, but like our connection to Houston music, bro, is crazy.
Most
You know what I'm
definitely.
saying? We
Most
spoke about
definitely.
that before we got on the air.
Most
but,
definitely.
How in the hell did you find DJ Screw, and how did you get into this Houston shit, bro?
So kind of like with the underground. Once I started learning about the underground, my brother definitely got me. I would say definitely kind of dabbled me into the first part of it, and it's like we was listening to a lot of real underground rappers at the time that weren't really that popular, that are now even really big, like Suicide Boys X, like Chris Travis, Xavier Wolf. I could keep going on. There's a lot, but anyways, within that, I mean, I don't know. It just kept going. It just kept going up from there. I'm trying to think. Repeat your question. I fucking
Man,
I got
hot
a little
times, bro.
I got a
You
little
good.
lost. Hold
Nah,
on.
you
Go
good.
ahead.
But it's just, man, like.
Oh, the Houston.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, my
All
bad.
good,
I
all
was
good.
I was starting to think about like all the other fucking SoundCloud rappers, everything else, and I'm like, shit, I've strayed away from the question. But
No,
anyways,
it's all good.
DJ Screw. So he showed me DJ Screw
Right,
at
right.
one point, and then he showed me it was the My Mind Went Blank, and I listened to that, and I remember specifically around the time when he listened to it, we were going on a vacation to Texas, and I remember listening to that bitch on repeat, like in the car, just while looking out the window and shit, and I was like, hearing that hypnotic ass sound and the way he was chopping it up and just doing all them nice little transitions, the slow down this and everything, I was like, this is fucking on a whole different other level, like
Right.
at least to me. And so that's when I started actually learning about him. And you know, there's like you mentioned earlier, Paul Wall, and then Pokey.
Yeah.
Listening to his like the freestyles, all the other things and documentaries, and then I mean it just went from there for real. Like that's just where that's
bro.
where
It's
all grew.
bro. Texas is a huge ass state, bro. But like, there's so many talented artists from there. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, like my favorite artists and stuff like that of all time. You know what I'm saying? Which I get a lot of flack for it, but you know, I'll go to the grave for it. But like, Chamillionaire is my favorite rapper of all time. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, people know him for the Riding Dirty. You know, but I know him so much more than just Riding Dirty. But you know, the influence that like he had, and like not he had, but like really Texas in general. You know what I'm saying? For like me growing up, you know, like even the way I talk. You know, like a lot of people are like, oh, like I went to Canada one time and I started talking, and like this girl was like, "You're from the South," and I'm like, "I'm from Kansas. I'm not from the South." And she's like, "No, you sound like you from Texas," and I was like, "I'm not from Texas, but I can see where I can get that because I say hold up a lot. I say a lot of like what Pimp C be talking like, hey, you hear what I'm talking about?
Right.
Like,
Well, especially you start to especially gather the slang, in my opinion, once you start listening to a lot of it, and then even getting around the culture of it and being around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
for
surrounding
sure.
yourself with it.
The swinging and all that shit, bro. Like all that shit that they do, the cars.
Yeah.
You know that culture, bro. Like captivated a lot. I mean, and you can hear
They're
it. Like,
still doing it, dude. Oh yeah.
right.
Yeah, I still follow people. I mean, there's a guy who works at the shop, and I bought 2 CDs from him, 2 DJ Screw CDs, and
Hold up. How the hell did he get a DJ Screw tape?
well, they're like I guess they're not really as rare because they are just more or less reissues and they're on CD. But this guy, I forget how eventually I just found him on Instagram, I guess one day, and I just followed him, and then he released this one song that was just fucking filthy, bro. Like the dude, shout out to DJ Red, that's who it is. He chopped it up and it was really fucking hard. And I was like, man, I want a copy of this. I was like, do you have any physical copies? He's like, I don't of this song. He's like, but I can send you the files. He's like, but if you want some CDs, I can hook you up with some of his other shit. And so I went ahead and I got the CDs, and he sent me like 2 or 3 of DJ Red's personal mixes, and then he sent me 2 of the chapters, one of the chapters of the DJ Screw CDs. And so that's how I ended up obtaining those, and they're fucking great. I love them.
Did you see, or did you start to like understand the history with DJ Screw? You know what I'm saying? Like how he came up with like that screw sound?
Yeah, it's insane. Like literally all the like there's a reason why it's called DJ Screw. You know,
yeah.
literally. Like and when I heard when I listened to the documentary, I'm like, wow, all because like, you know, the fucking at first, you know, the cassette tape was slowing down and dying and shit and all that other shit. I'm like, that's crazy.
Dying, and then like, bro, all the time he would drink lean, you know what I'm saying? And it would slow down his mind, so he's like,
and that's what they do. They freestyle first, and then, you know, they'd all get, you know, they be on the lean, whatever, and then he'd do the same shit, and then he'd get on the table, slow it down, and then that's definitely where the culture was influenced, you know, because in order to listen to the slow down shit, you had to be slowed down as well.
Oh yeah, man.
And sadly, it's also what took out, you know, a big portion of the screwed up clique. Yeah.
It took out a lot, not even just screwed up clique, but it took out a lot of America. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's true.
Lil Wayne was having seizures and stuff like that because of all that, the mud in his cup. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, well, yeah, R.I.P. But, you know, that's what I'm saying. It's like, that stuff's a crazy, and I didn't know it really, I mean, it's pretty much like liquid heroin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, literally, yeah.
That shit's crazy. Like, I never knew what that
it's
stuff
like liquid,
was.
like fucking morphine, oxycodone and shit.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's just
fucking
crazy, bro.
Or damn near like liquid Xanax or something like that, you know?
Man, hell
It's
no.
fucked up.
Having people, man, I used to have a friend of mine that sit in the back seat. He wouldn't do it a lot, but like he would just pour it up on my, and he's like, "We want to sip." I'm like, "I'm good on that, man. If you mixing this with that, I don't need to mix anything." But yeah, I mean, That's crazy, bro. So I mean, what? So I mean, right here, I'll grab it for you real quick. But like, where did this concept come from, man?
So I believe I came from originally from I'm about to release it here soon. If you guys check it out on the YouTube, Clouds XIII or Cloud 666, one of the two. I have a tape called Freaking Nature, and I designed a graphic where there's like a dude rotting away on the turntables, and my homie, he took inspiration from that, and was fucking with the label and the shit I was doing for it, and so he made me a nice logo. And I mean, fuck, it's really sick, and it's honestly something I'm gonna end up using here in the future too on my own release. So
Nice. Okay.
it's kind of how that started.
That's dope, man. That's dope. So like, man, I see you have all the cassettes and whatnot, man. So like, what came up with the idea with the cassettes, bro? Because like you doing something that a lot of people right now, artists are going to it, but like you've been doing this since pretty much to the jump of it. You know what I'm saying? What made you want to do the cassettes?
So there was definitely, I'd say, I started learning about the following of cassettes around when I started listening to Memphis music a little bit. I wasn't at first into actually getting tapes at first, but when I learned a lot of these old tapes I was listening to, like XIII Mafia tapes, old DJ Paul and Juicy J, like underground mixes they would make together, and like just all these other like really obscure rappers, the lo-fi sound that the tape would make with the compression over time, or even there would be bootlegs uploaded to YouTube that were like third or fourth generation rips, but due to the way that the cassette would compress the sound over time, would give it way more of like a lo-fi sound, and almost make the horror sounds they were using on there sound even more creepy and almost lost, like you're finding this like creepy like lost rap cassette like on the ground somewhere, like
Damn.
that's kind of like the vibe it gave. But
That's crazy.
And within that, when I learned that, I was like, dude, this is such a neat fucking like concept, and like because some people were already doing and starting to produce tapes like around 2015, even maybe beforehand, and it's like specifically with the underground, that's where a lot of other people got their influences from. So once I started learning about that, I'm like, dude, like I want to see how my music was done on tape. And I remember I first started dabbling with just making mixtapes just for myself with like random just songs I liked and whatever. And I went to the thrift store, got me a nice little cassette player, dual cassette deck, a stereo, some speakers, and then just from there I kept practicing, and then eventually started making my own art because I've always been drawing, fucking around with Photoshop and shit on the side, and then eventually figured out how to do it with the tapes, and then made my first release. And since then, I'm like, that's all I really want to do is try and get as much physical copies as I can. And surprisingly, a lot of people still really fuck with that sound, that underground sound, and they like that warm hiss from the tape and like almost the corruption that it gives, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, yeah. That's crazy. So I mean, yeah. So, shoot, I'm trying to come up with. So you had the tapes. Obviously, you got the artwork. I mean, so you said that you like to draw a lot.
Yes, that's something I do on the side as well with the art. Granted, this one right here isn't mine, but like on that tape is the bottom black cassette right there, as you see, that's hand drawn right from me. Granted, it's digital art, but same concept. Beforehand,
for sure.
In high school, bro, I mean, literally, I wasn't paying attention a lot because of just personal shit, whatever, but I would draw like a lot of fucking comics, like randomly. Like I would just fill the notebook paper after like notebook after notebook after notebook with like these just random like comic skits and shit like that, and like make my own like characters or whatever the fuck, and like draw all these like creepy looking motherfuckers and things like that. And it's like I've always, with the horror and everything else, I also implemented that within the drawing. Like I like drawing like a lot of gory shit, a lot of skulls, dark shit, like just kept it going with that. And so I was able to implement that within the cassettes as well. I'm like, okay, well, I know how to make my own art. I know how to use Photoshop in a sense. I'm like, I could, fuck around and at least try and do this all DIY. And so it's like, once I started actually learning how to, make my own tapes, I started releasing it, doing it, just fucking hand cutting it. I mean, everything all straight from my hands, bro. Like, I love it. I feel like the DIY aspect too is one of the is one of the coolest parts as well, because like a lot of people back then were doing that as well, just kind of like you were telling me earlier, hustling out your trunk and shit, trying to get your
Right.
shit out. And it's like even some people were just writing their fucking names on there. I mean, DJ Screw did it, he would write
Right.
his shit out, sell them out of his trunk. And so like that's also where I got inspiration too. And I'm just like, man, it'd be so cool just to have people fucking having these underground mixes and shit. And so on top of doing my own music, I was helping to produce around the local scene. Like a lot of like different underground black metal artists, punk artists, whoever, heavy hardcore artists, and making tapes for them. And it got to the point where I pressed like damn near over like 750 cassettes. So like,
Damn.
yeah, it's
750.
that's a lot.
That's a hell of a lot, man. That's crazy. So I mean, so with that, like you pressed all those, and we were talking about this off air or whatever, but like you said you were selling them to people over in what, like Finland and overseas?
Yeah, man. There's a few people there's like a few small like people that fuck with my shit over there, and it's like I was even surprised when I had people hitting me up from overseas like, yo, let me get your music and I'll fucking pay for it or whatever. And I'm over here. I mean, it's trippy when you're writing, sitting there filling out a declaration of a customs page for USPS, having to fill out. Because, normally, you're just writing,
Right.
name and address, sending it. And here, they're like, no, you got to make sure, you got to write the weight of it, how much it is, what exactly it is, the quantity, everything else. And so it's like, it was definitely kind of trippy, but I also thought it was really fucking cool, that this shit's going across the fucking world. Like, and there's people listening to my music across the world. Even if it's just one person, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's fucking sick. And especially like a couple homies in Scotland, and then there's a couple people in Germany as well. So it's like I think that's really fucking neat, at least in my opinion.
No, for sure, 100%. Yeah. I mean, the craziest thing, man, is like I always said this to anybody and everybody, bro. But like, I would never want like my friends and family support my music and support like a dream of mine or whatever. But I'd rather have a random fan. You know what I'm saying? I want a random fan, a random person, because a random person is gonna support you more than the person you know.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I was like, I'll take not a million. I'll take 5 randos. You know what I'm saying? As fans instead of 5 friends. Supporting my stuff. Because yes. Don't get me wrong. Is the support great? And is it cool to like sit there and share it to some people, and then they share it to some people?
It doesn't feel the same, Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's
but there's
like,
always
I see you doing your thing.
There's always a bias behind it.
Right.
Rather we want to. It's just more or less reality of the situation. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Rather we want to accept it or not.
Right, and then you have that random person that's like, bro, like I just love what you doing. Like, can I get this and can I get that? It's like, wait a minute, what? Now I got to do this to do that. And I mean that's kind of how I built a lot of my relationships to this day, like with the people that I got, friends with and stuff like that, is because, like, long story short, like a friend of mine who passed away, but like Nesto, the owner, this girl came to my school. Like, she's a homie of mine now, but she had his tape or whatever because like the dude that she was dating was knowing Ness or whatever. She was trying to sell him for $5. She gave him to me. I'm not gonna lie. I went home and I burned it. And I came back home and came back to school and just gave it to her. I was like, yeah, I don't have the money or whatever like that. And, after that, then he was on a song with Tech-9, and I was just that random fan. You know what I'm saying? And, like, so much of a random fan where, like, I literally, me and my friend pulled up to 7-Eleven, 7th Heaven, in a snowstorm to buy his album. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Yeah, bro. Like and I remember I texted him and shit like that, and he's like, bro, y'all are really out in the snowstorm by my album because it dropped that day, and I'm like, bro, we're gonna go get it. And my friend's like, bro, we about to drive there? I'm like, yeah, we about to drive there.
We're about to drive. We gonna get it.
Yeah, and we did it, bro. Like, and I remember he's like, well, I guess pull up to my house, bro. I'll sign it or whatever, and like we still got it, bro. And I mean, the thing is like, that's he was like one of my favorite people to listen to, you know what I'm saying? Like growing up and stuff like that, but like now, as he's passed and whatnot and stuff like that, like he so much he has influenced me to not even be like involved in the music stuff, but like even before his passing and stuff like that, like I mean he was a great father, you know what I'm saying? So he influenced me to even be a great father,
Of course,
you know. So like, and like I kid you not, like it was just one of those things. Like the girl gave me the CD. And then now look at it now. You know what I'm saying? I built what I built off of that relationship with like his brother, you know, and like all the people that I know, and like that's the thing that I'm like, damn, bro, like, and it started off as a random fan. So that person that's over there, you know, overseas and whatnot, that fucks with your music, bro, like that dude's gonna fuck with your music no matter what you drop. You know what I'm saying? You can drop something tomorrow with 3-6, and then the next day drop it with Drake. You know what I'm saying? And it might be different, but they're gonna be like, man, fuck it, we don't care, we're gonna ride it.
Exactly.
You know, so that's what it's at a fan, bro. Like, it's crazy to like see how many people like dead on support you.
Of course, and I feel like that's something I really enjoy about it, and it's like the underground community. I think it's really cool. I guess because like granted, it's not like some people would treat it. There's always gonna be those people who treat it like a cult, and are gonna be like super diehard and almost like overly dramatic with it and shit like that. But as for people who just respect it for the music and what it is, and just like to have discussions about it and collect it and talk about it, I think it's fucking neat. It creates community and it creates like friends and fucking just like I guess almost in a sense like a different family, like a separate family and community to have.
100%, yeah.
And I will say, over the time online, the underground has gotten pretty fucking toxic though. Like in a sense, there is a lot of people who just end up starting to talk shit, and then it's like there's a lot of different new subgenres being made. Like a lot of people taking the Memphis sound over in Russia and Brazil, making like this stuff called like Brazilian funk and all this other shit, and they're just kind of making it into like party music and all this other weird obscure shit. And so a lot of people here are like really mad that they're taking advantage of the sound and things like that, and so it's a lot of back and forth.
Right. Yeah.
But regardless, at the end of the day, like I guess with my point being, like I said, it's the community part of it I really enjoy, especially here locally. And as funny as it is, I feel like a lot of the underground rap stuff is also tied into kind of like I was mentioning earlier, like metal and like almost like the rock genres and shit, because a lot of the rock and punk scenes and things like that, they like the tapes too. Right. Because back then they was pressing a lot of metal artists were making a lot of tapes and things like that, demos, all that other shit. So that's definitely a big influence as well. Like I'd say with all that.
Gotcha. So when it comes down to rock, I know like we're gonna circle right back to that real quick, but like who's your influences with rock, bro?
Definitely for sure some of the originals, like I'd say like Guns N' Roses, and okay. Then Rage Against the Machine for sure. I fucking loved Rage Against the Machine. They were fucking cool. And then with like the death, like more or less like the metal kind of side of things, I really fucking liked deathcore, death metal, like Suicide Silence, fucking really old school, fucking Bring Me the Horizon, when they were like 17, 14, 15, making these like shitty ass demos in their fucking garage. I mean, they sounded like shit, but it was just like raunchy ass fucking just thrashy metal. I like that shit. It was dope.
Gotcha, okay.
And so yeah, it just trying to think who else. As of right now, my mind's a little blurry about it. But yeah, no, those were definitely, I feel like, one of the top people. And there's a lot of other really cool fucking groups. Right. Definitely.
Right. So if you had to, so I know we said the Mount Rushmores and stuff like that, but like who would be your, if you had to, not even say collab, but like something that, man, who would you fanboy over? You know what I'm saying? Like on some, and I say that because like the thing is, man, like I told you before on there, man, like I met Chamillionaire about a month ago, and like I was just tongue tied,
Honestly,
like, I was like, oh shit.
Probably would be if I was to meet like honestly DJ Sound, dude. DJ Sound, bro. That guy, like, once again, he's so underrated, and it's like he's one of the biggest inspirations of my shit too, and it's like he used so many like really weird ambient like sounds and samples that like not a lot of people can find today. And since he was like a drummer and shit in high school and all that, his percussion on the fucking machines were amazing as well. Like he used a machine called the DR5 and the DR660, and there were alternatives that were kind of cheaper to the Roland 808 machine. And these sounds that were on there were fucking really cool, and he was making all these percussions and all kinds of other shit. And so really sorry I'm kind of going off topic, but all in all, like DJ Sound for sure, like he I would definitely go crazy if I actually was like fucking right there with them, fucking doing all kinds of shit.
So who is DJ Sound? You know, because I don't know who that is. You know what I'm saying? So educate me a little bit on him.
So,
I know you said the whole synthesizer and so you just said, but
yeah. So he was one of the people who he lived in this place called Ridgecrest in Memphis, and he was pretty much like starting to pioneer beats. There was a guy, I guess the guy that inspired him was named DJ Livewire, and DJ Livewire like knew how to use them drum machines like no one else did, and was able to make all kinds of fucking sounds, and he pioneered and taught him how to use it. So Sound started releasing tapes, and since there was a lot of people, or like first they were mostly just like DJ mixes and drum mixes and shit like that, and so a lot of people was starting to fuck with him, and so he kind of created this group called the Fraser Clique, and the Fraser Clique had like all kinds of people. There was this dude named Player One, there was a guy named Player Two, fucking Bloody Bones. You had MC Money and Gangsta Gold, which actually he was one of the, at least in my eyes, one of the original people to actually pioneer and have female rappers in this group. MC Money and Gangsta Gold were like I think like 14 or 15 at the time, and he had them rapping in his group, and fuck, there's a lot of other people. There was like I think more than like 10 people in this group. It was pretty big.
So it was
group.
like 3-6 Mafia pretty much. But
In a sense, yeah. And the
how
thing
big that was in the beginning.
Yes,
Yeah,
and they
okay,
got
okay.
some of their influences from XIII too around the time, because the thing is around the time when like A Ball and MJG, they in like what's his fucking name? I'm brain farting on him right now. DJ Spanish Fly and Gangsta Pat, all those people are like, and DJ Zerk too, DJ Squeaky, I can't forget them. All those people are like the pioneers that really originally started the Memphis sound, and then XIII got inspiration from them, put their twist on it, and blew the fuck up. And so a lot of other people at the time were starting to do it was all neighborhood shit pretty much. Like there was like, if you listen to all the tapes, like Tommy Wright's tapes, all these other like small obscure artists, all of them are shouting out these neighborhoods. They're all talking about different artists on other tapes. They're also like dissing other artists on other tapes. They're all talking about these people's addresses and all this other shit. Like it was literally like almost like all of their drama was put into all these different fucking like volumes and shit. And it's like if you listen to it, you can almost hear the story of what was going on in the entire rap community at the time and shit like that. It was really neat with the way they delivered it and like did all this shit.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've ever been this speechless before.
And like, especially, and it's
bro,
like
this dude
I
knows
feel like
literally 101 when it comes down to Memphis history.
And I feel like even Juicy J, dude, like, or DJ Paul, meeting them would be fucking crazy too. Cause like, I mean, I wish I could meet him, but Lord Infamous was one of the fucking dopest rappers ever. Like he's like,
you know,
he's
Juicy
the fucking
J's coming here, right?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I was like, fuck, dude.
Hey, I think I know somebody who's running that.
Yeah, right, shit.
But I mean, honestly, DJ Paul was here.
He was here in like I think Springfield like a few months ago, or no?
Nah, he was actually here in KC. Shoot, what was it? Maybe it was either KC or Topeka. I can't remember, but a promoter I know was running that show. So
Oh yeah, no, it was Topeka. You're right. It was.
Yeah.
It was Topeka. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, hey, holler at me next time. If you see that they come into town, holler at me. I could probably get you to meet DJ Paul.
Hell yeah.
You know, if that's somebody, I mean, I would want to meet JJ Paul too. Like
Yeah.
that motherfucker is.
I have
Crazy.
some of his. They like I even know all the way down to like some of the like the shops that were like selling their tapes at like from the '90s and
So,
shit. And like,
I got a question for you, bro. How did you feel about Gangsta Boot Passing?
dude, that was sad, bro. Honestly, when I saw that, I was like, damn. And then, granted, I mean, I don't think you know her, but like not even long before that, one of the other like Memphis legends that was really fucking good that actually ended up getting sampled on Beyonce's album because she had Tommy Wright work on some of the production on one of her new albums, and he was like, that was like one of the biggest achievements for Tommy Wright. Her name was Princess Loco, and she was one of the like, she has like a song called Still Pimpin' that's 6.5 minutes long.
Still pimping?
Yeah. Tommy Wright, I think she was in school at the time. Tommy Wright, I think, if I'm remember from the interview right, he literally had her ditch class, and and his parents are deaf, so they can't hear. And so, like, you know, they never got to hear his music and shit. So he had her come into the kitchen. They sat there with the drum machine, the 4-track, the microphone, and they literally made that song in the kitchen. It was a 6.5 minute song, and it's one of the fucking dopest, longest Memphis fucking female artists rapping songs ever in all time, and it's super hard. And sorry, I'm going off topic, but I had to mention her. I had to mention her first because
crazy.
she was, in my opinion, one of the dopest female rappers. And it's like, I'll have to send you some of her other obscure underground shit to put you on. But on top of that, when Gangsta Boo passed, like, this wasn't too long in between, so it was like, I was like, what the fuck? Especially because it was so sudden, you know, with her found on the porch, and was, from what I assume, I think was fentanyl, from what I heard, I think. And so it's just like, that was just, it just more or less was shocking again, and then it just made me think even more. I'm like, you know, the more people keep fucking doing this shit, and the more the drugs just keep fucking going, like, the worse and worse it's just gonna be. I mean, it's just like it's like a crack epidemic, but 10 times fucking worse. I mean, because I mean, literally tiny, you know, powdery parts of that shit can fuck you up.
100%, yeah. And I mean, they're throwing that in every fucking little thing.
Everything.
And it's crazy too, man. It's like, bro, why can't people just smoke weed?
Right.
Like, it's like, bro, you can literally go now to a store and just buy that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you know it's secured. You know what's coming in the bag. It's like, bro, I don't need to go buy something that I think that might be something else, you know, or could be laced with something else. It's strictly, you know, boom, boom. So it's like, but I mean, I get it. Some people are just set in their ways and they don't want to change out of that, you know. But it's like, man, smoke a joint. You know what I'm saying? Sit back, relax. I don't smoke. I don't do anything besides drink Mountain Dew. But that's about it. You take away that, then we got a whole nother situation. But no, I mean, yeah, I mean her passing, Gangsta Boo's passing, like, that was crazy. You know. Here's another one too. You know, like, what did you think about Young Dolph?
That was another one that I was like, damn, bro, because he actually, there was a lot of Memphis artists that had plans to do shit with him, and it's like he kind of took that horror sound like a little bit, and like, for example, you know, like 1,000 Shots, for example, like
Banger.
it's like literally,
boy,
bro, like he took, like it sounds so sinister, but then he also, I feel like, incorporated like that Future and like that fucking Travis Scott sound into it, and like really like manipulated the fuck out of his vocals, and like hit that reverb, made it really sound like you're in a big ass room. And yeah, no, he delivered that shit amazingly. Like, it was great.
Nah, I mean, he did, especially with that shit with
and it's
Gotti,
really
bro.
sad that shit happened.
Yeah, with Gotti passing, bro, like, or not Gotti. What am I saying, Gotti? When Dolph passed, a lot of people pointed the finger at you know, Dolph. You know what I'm saying? Or not Dolph, at Gotti. My fault, I'm fucking up.
Yeah.
But they pointed their finger at you know, Gotti for killing him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which obviously we all know now that that's not true. But I wasn't really. I mean, I was hip to Dolph, and I mean, he came here plenty of times. You know, and I never went. But like, you know, that is one of those true things where it's like, man, like, after his passing, like, I'm not gonna lie, I started listening to his music, and now, I mean, shit, I can't, that song, what he said, don't play with me, play with your bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I play that shit nonstop all the time. Like,
You know, dude, he's
like
fucking
that.
great, bro.
Dolph was a, man, he was, honestly, bro, like, I think he was about to be the king of Memphis, bro.
Dude, he was rising. He really was. Like, I don't know. I won't lie. I don't like a lot of the newer artists that come out nowadays. But he was one of them that I actually really enjoyed. And I was like, out of all the people that were coming out of Memphis, he was delivering not only that Memphis sound, but like I said, he found a way to manipulate that newer era shit too with it as well.
Yep.
Like, it was great.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, with him, Pookie, what are you doing? we got Pookie over here. But yeah, so I mean, we got Dolph, you know, Key Glock. Key Glock's kind of running it now. You know what I'm saying? Which I like a lot of Key Glock's music, you know. So, yeah. But I mean, I know we got big onto the Memphis rap scene, but I mean, shoot, tell people what you got coming up, bro. Because I mean, I know we spoke about it, but tell the people.
So, August 6th, I got a show live at Howdy. I'm doing a live Chopped and Screwed set, I think. I might even do some experimental shit using my beat machines and my sampler, possibly.
Got it.
And then on top of that, I'm dropping my full Freaking Nature cassette is coming soon. I think I got one more actual track I do want to put out on YouTube first. Eventually, I will be signing up and getting my shit all up on some streaming services. So that's another thing coming up. And then really, I'm going to try and work on some more posters. I got another cassette, actually, after the Freaking Nature planned already in advance. Okay. And then within that, I mean, it's just Actually, there's even more. Today, I talked to one of my homies. Shout out to Skrilla Most Illest. He's a cool dude. He has some music he wants to work with me together on. I think we're about to do a tape here soon too. So I got about 3 tapes coming out already in advance. And so within that, other than that, it's really just really more or less the other new shit is just me trying to find more machines, still trying to find more obscure analog equipment. I'm trying to get into the vibe of more of like the old 90s shit and just really try to deliver that old school sound, but also see what I can do to manipulate it and bring that new shit as well.
Got it. Okay. That's hard. Okay, so I mean, tell the viewers where they can find you at, bro. You know what I'm saying?
As of right now, you can find me. Best place to find me would be on Instagram, clouds.xii. And then, YouTube, as of right now, has a lot of my shit. Just be Cloud666. And then, if you want, trying to think, do have SoundCloud as well. Same thing, Clouds XIII as well. And so, really, those are the 3 best places to get at me right now. If you want to do any booking, or want to hit me up with a feature or whatever, you can hit me up on Instagram. That'd probably be the best way to reach me, and then I can get back to you. But yeah, no, I'll say
There
that.
we go. All right, y'all. Well, this is episode 3, man. This is my nephew, Clouds13. Go give him a like, go give him a follow, support his music. He's got a lot of good merch out. He's got a good, hey, man, he brought that Pop in the Trunk. He brought that right back out. I know it's 2024, but he brought it right back out.
Yeah,
so
it's still thriving, man.
Hey,
people are still buying tapes.
Damn right
People are still buying tapes that like that old sound.
Yeah. So make sure y'all tap in, man. This is episode 3. We might get him back for round 2. More to come. Oh yeah, future guests. My fault. Yeah. Hey, we got Danny Slab in the back, man, helping me out with this a little bit. This is my first go around with being the head host. Usually I have my partner here with me, DJ Royal, but
we have some surprising guests coming at
we got some surprising guests coming at you, man. So make sure y'all tune in. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube page. What They Want Podcast. It's all up on the page. Make sure you guys go ahead and follow the Instagram page as well. What They Want Podcast.
Like it, love it, share it.
Like, love, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Share it to your mama, your auntie, your cousins, your kittens, whatever. Your moving company, whatever you gotta do. But also, man, like I said, we're gonna have some special guests coming. Very, very special guests. Next week we got Model Music in the building. We got after that we got Sage. Sage is gonna step on the couch. Man. Snoopy NGU. He's gonna be on here. Man, plenty more people, man. So just keep hitting that subscribe button. Keep following. We'll have Clouds interview up here shortly. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate everybody tuning into the live on IG. I'm Snow. This is Clouds13.
Yes, sir.
Later.
I'ma give them what they want. She gon' give me what I want. I'ma give them what they want. We gon' give them what they want. I'ma give them what they want. She gon' give me what I want. I'ma give them what they want. We gon' give them what they want.
What the fuck is they talking about when they ain't talking about none?